sacrifice the price with itself for red. Red Chainwhirler. And then we get Death Touch. And the opponent concedes. Yo, what up folks, TripTG here. We've got a couple of days till Explorer Anthology. 3 hits, so we're having a look at Goblins, which have been having a bit of a resurgence in Pioneer and Explorer. We're not going to get Reckless Bushwhacker, unfortunately, or even Legion Loyalist, but that means the deck's not really changing, so it's a pretty good time to have a look at them. We've got 2 pretty cool new builds. The one we're going to be playing today is Rakdos, but I will have a look at the Rally version as well, playing white, so stay tuned for that. So the black version is playing 2 things. You're already playing black for 2 things. The first one is called the Death Dweller. Do the black, return up to 2 creature cards with total mana value 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. Put a Death Touch counter on either of them, then put a Menace counter on either of them. Okay, cool. What are we doing with that? Because the other thing we're playing here, and there's a slight difference here between Pioneer and Explorer, we've got Lash of Thorns, which is +2/+1 and gives a creature Death Touch. In Pioneer, we play Touch of Moonglove, which is Death Touch, and then like, if the creature dies, they lose 2 lives, so it gives it like a bit of burn that way as well. The idea being that we have Coffee Scamp, which obviously when it dies deals damage to something, Fanatical Firebrand, which you can sacrifice to ping something, Fireblade Charger, and then also, of course, Goblin Chainwhirler. So the Call of Death Dweller, when you bring the creature back, you can put a Death Touch counter on it. So, for example, bring back Chainwhirler with Death Touch, bring back Scamp with Death Touch, any of these. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then obviously with Lash of Thorns you can play Chainwhirler and trigger on the stack this, or alternatively like a block Lash of Thorns with one of these things and then do damage to something, trading off, and then also ping something, which it retains the Death Touch because it's this dealing with it's the creature dealing with damage when it dies. It's pretty cool. You can maybe get a nice 2/4 on that, and you also get to hit some big creatures. Surrounding that, we have the like good old Goblin shell. So many different tricks. The Scout Prospect, obviously you can sacrifice goblins to make mana, which gives you a ton of different possibilities, especially with Runvelt Hordemaster, which is the Goblin Lord, 1 in a red, 1/1, but whenever a goblin dies, exile top card of your library. If it's a goblin creature, you can cast that card to any of your next turn, so you can kind of go off a little bit. This goes really, really crazy in the Rally deck. Here, we're kind of like nickel and diming our opponents out a bit. We've got, obviously, a Lord, amassing a bunch of power in play. We've got all these cards that can ping. Coffee Scamp as well. You sacrifice to Proliferate, which, hey, you don't have anything in your deck to really proliferate, but then you can trigger itself to die and then deal damage, especially when you've got Lords out, even if you buffed it. Yeah, so 4 Coffee Scamp, 4 Fanatical Firebrand, 4 Fireblade Charger, and 4 copies of Scout Prospector. At 2, obviously we have Hordemaster, amazing 2-drop. Snoop is a really nice one, and one of the reasons these 2 cards here really carry through a lot of the more mid-rangey matchups where they're trying to like Fatal Push, kill all your stuff. Because Hordemaster gets you cards when the creatures die, and then also Snoop allowing you to cast cards off the top of your library. Just really, really awesome sources of card advantage. Battlecry Goblin is just an uncommon, but actually one of the more powerful cards in the decks, and one that people often underestimate. It's a 2-mana 2/2. Okay. It has its power attacks ability. When it attacks, if you attack with 6 or greater power, you put a goblin into play that's tapped and attacking. But this real power with this card is this 1 in a red ability. The goblins you control, +1/+0, and haste. You get to the point where you're like at 4 mana. Anything you play, you can give it all haste and buff your team. It's really, really powerful. Then we have Chainwhirler, and then lastly 2 copies of Hobgoblin Bandit Lord. 1 red, 2/3. It's another Lord effect, and then deals damage equals the number of goblins that enter the battlefield on your controller's turn to any target. Very, very solid, lets you shoot down some more large creatures, especially if you're kind of going off with like Prospect Hordemaster stuff. It does some really crazy things in the Rally deck, which we'll get to go through that, but this is the deck we're playing today. The mana base: 3 Sulphur Springs, 4 Bug Crypt, 4 Bladestone Pathway, 4 Blackley Cliffs, 1 Mountain, 4 down to the Bugbears. Have a sideboard, but there's a couple of different things which I want to cover. So I'm playing 2 copies of Lash of Thorns and 4 copies of Call of Death Dweller with 4 copies of Chainwhirler. So pretty all in here. If you want to, you can kind of cut some of the numbers here. Play like 3 calls, maybe 3 Chainwhirlers. Depends how the meta is at the minute. At the moment, especially with like the Hogat deck rising, you've still got like still very, very good versus a lot of the green decks. And also, obviously, you're getting a Death Touch is the dream and bringing it back to just wipe your opponent's board. But it doesn't happen all the time. Just bear that in mind, so you can trim the numbers around. Here we're playing 4, 4, and 2, just because you want to actually like play into it and see how good it is. The sideboard then, and then I'll go through the Rally deck. 4 copies of Thoughtseize. This is the nice thing about Splashing Black here, is that you get access to these cards. Again, you're really, really strong against a lot of the fair decks because of Snoop and Hordemaster, and then also like the ability to kind of like go off with Prospect to kind of get tricksy with your stuff. But combos where you can be quite weak. So 4 copies of Thoughtseize, 2 copies of Rending Volley versus Greasefang, but also, hey, like if Angels get to kind of go off and do their thing, it's pretty hard to get over those life totals, all those boards. So important there. 2 copies of a Braid, hey, another removal spell that also doubles as some artifact removal, along with 2 copies of Go to the Throws. Then, again, combo decks, we've got 2 copies of Necromancer, so choose a card name other than a basic land, search your opponent's graveyard, hand a library for any number of cards for that name, and exile them. If it exiles cards from hands, they get a zombie. Take away their creativity, take away their like fires, that kind of thing, Enigmatic Incarnation. Really, really strong. Then we have the Colligan's Command. Does hit artifacts, is a nice one for like some of the more grindy matchups. We get to recur a card, maybe shoot something down, or make your opponent discard. Very, very solid. And then 2 copies of Experimental Frenzy. Lets you kind of just go crazy. It's like a Snoop that they can't just kill, and just lets you like a bunch of cards off the top of your library. That's the deck. Let's have a quick look at the rally list, and I'm going to hop into some ranked games with the Black-Red build. So, Boros Goblin Rally. At this point, also, if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. Obviously, Explorer Anthology 3 is literally 2 days away, and I've got a bunch of decks planned to kind of cover, even though like we're only getting some cards, but we're still getting enough to like, hey, there's going to be a bunch of decks I want to go through. So, the main thing you're splashing white for is, of course, Rally the Ancestors. So, you've got the 4 Scamps, you've got the Fireblade Chargers, you've also got Fuseling, which is something you can rack up a bunch of different counters on. It gets trampled and gets bigger when creatures die, or artifacts get put into the graveyard. Then you have Charger, you have Prospector, which is a really, really key part of the deck. The way Rally works, you pay effectively 4 mana. Occasionally you might pay 5 here. You're bringing back creatures with 3 or 2 CMC or less in your graveyard. Brings back all of them. So what are we doing when you've got the creatures back? Again, you can power up Fuseling with Skirt Prospector, especially again with Hoardmaster getting cards of the library and Snoop. You can really, really go off, do a bunch of stuff. And the other thing is Hobgoblin Bandit Lord. Deals damage equals to the number of goblins that enter the battlefield under your control this turn. You bring them all back. Goblin Warchief gives the creatures haste, and so Hobgoblin can tap and deal a ton of damage to your opponent. Slap them in the face. So hey, very, very strong. The thing to remember here is they exile on your next upkeep. So if you do it in your main phase, you'll get to use stuff, play stuff, especially with Prospector where you're going to get more mana, and then with this, between Snoop and Hoardmaster getting more cards, so you get a couple of different shots. Pretty cool. So this is another sweet build. I'm not going to play this today, but if you do want to see this, let me know in the comments. Let's hop into some ranked games with Rakdos. Alright, first match here with Rakdos Goblins. Playing some best of 3. Really sweet deck. One of the things that I found when I was like playing around with the Rally version is that actually you just win a lot of games with the Goblin package, so I thought it'd be a little awkward to try and showcase, because like maybe 80% of games you just win going Goblin beatdown stuff. And so, yeah, we're going with the Black-Red deck here. It just put up a bunch of results recently, actually. Is, I think, the more popular build. But also the one that's been doing better. Forest. Okay. Nothing so far. So this Prospector. We have this Hoardmaster. Like, we have Chainwhirler we're going into. We have... These Call of Death Dwellers mean that we can kind of maybe go to do some shenanigans with the Hoardmaster in a turn or 2. But for now, we're just going to play it out and beat down for 2. And we have the ability to play it pathway. Interesting. Multi-cards, put a permanent card from cards into your hand. That's a Cavalier. Okay. Well, Cavalier suggests normal mono green. This is quite interesting. We'll see. Yeah, and Wolf Haven. Okay, sure. Fine. Pity they're not on like, oh well, they've not drawn like an elf start, because we do have the Chainwhirler. Ooh, now we have Chainwhirler plus Lasher Thorns. This is interesting. I think we just play it for now. Kind of do our thing, and then we look to maybe go off with Call of Deathweller later on. We're going to go to 4 mana here. But for now, they don't really have a good way to wipe our board. I think we can just go like, alright, let's put some damage down. And then look to do some, like, we can sacrifice the Chainwhirler obviously to the Prospector, then like bring it back with Death Touch. We have some lines we can take. It's always a little annoying because it's just one we struggle to attack down. Okay. They've untapped the Forest instead of the Haven. My turn. Have some options here. I want to go face rather than attack Kiora. I don't necessarily want to. If I don't have anything else to do, we may as well attack with the Hoardmaster. Especially if they're forcing mana. I'm like, they'll block the Horde Master maybe, and if they do, then we like Lashathorns. If not, we can maybe look to kind of shenanigans some stuff. We'll go face. This attack will really tell us how much they value the Elvish Persistence. It might be we just want to Chainwhirler anyway. Use their mana. Okay, they're not going to block, so I want to Chainwhirler his turn. That puts them to 9. So let's go Prospect to sacrifice Chainwhirler. Makes red mana, triggers the Horde Master. See what we hit. Nothing so far. We can't bring anything back with the Chainwhirler, so I think we maybe just want to stick this as it is. I'm going to go ahead and do that. That way we get to get rid of the Mystic. Keeps them down on mana. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but they're going to need another source if they want to hit 6 for Storm the Festival. The nice gap to bridge. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can get there. But hey. Cavalier, not really that big of a problem, really. This is Menace as well. Or at least currently isn't that big of a problem, I should say. Ooh, pass. Can besiege you, but we're not very vulnerable to it. Let's just think about damage-wise. Okay, the Horde Master... it just kind of gets us there, doesn't it? Because the Chainwhirler has Menace... I don't have 2 black sources. No, that's fine. That's effectively... Or Lashathorns here. And that'll do it. Okay, cool. Mono Green is an attack where the Chainwhirler, like with Death Touch thing, can go really, really well. Especially because you kind of... Chainwhirler is really good against the Llanowar Elf starts anyway. Llanowar Elf Algebra 26 starts. Kind of an interesting one, because... The deck plays a bit like a Goblin. I maybe actually want these Thought Seizers. I'm just trying to think how I want to sideboard. I don't think I want to like do Necromancer shenanigans. I don't like boarding in any of the removal. I go for the Throats to deal with some of the bigger creatures, but kind of have a bit of a plan for that. And similarly, like if we start going towards Experimental Frenzy, we're just going to lose because they're going to get to go over the top of us. I think just bringing in Thoughtseize to try and be a bit more disruptive is nice. In terms of what we want to cut, some of these have one. I don't think we need all 12. 16 1-mana creatures. Plus the... Battle is an interesting one because it lets you win through some of the like larger creatures if they put like a big wall up. I don't have Chainwhirler. Cut these clear a bit slow, especially when we're on the draw. Then I think maybe the thing to do is to cut some number of 1-drops. Maybe Snoop is actually the card to cut here. So we can be super fast and kind of efficient with our mana. If we're needing to like rebuild our board with Snoop, then we're in a really, really sticky situation. We'll queue up with this. Just trying to like stop them getting like a fast 6 or fast 5. This is fine. Okay, Llanowar Realms means we will have some interaction. Let's play a Flare Blade Charger out then. And figure out how we want to do this. They are in on the Seed of Hope. I don't know if that's becoming standard or if it's just something that they're trying. My life for a Chainwhirler. Alright, so we're gonna go... Oh, we could do some kind of crazy stuff actually. This is gonna shoot. We can make a red. I feel like I can kill both, and so I should kill both. I should put both counters here. Go ahead and do this. Now, am I being super mana efficient? If I go Horde Master here, attack. If I go Battlecry Goblin, just say go. I'm gonna get too greedy. The thing is that now we're at a point we've got another Call of Death Well, we can just kind of bring stuff back. Yeah, we've cut them off at mana. It's looking pretty good. Let's go. I don't get the Battlecry Goblin in play, but obviously the Horde Master lets us kind of do stuff. Don't want to leave this. I don't think there's any reason to leave the Firebrand up versus Mono Green. Like if they play Lana off, they just have to ping it on our turn anyway. I wonder if they. No, they wouldn't keep it, they do. Oh, they have the. Try to think. Not sure. Holding the Battlecry Goblin for now. But hey. There's all kinds of shenanigans. Gotta love it. Yeah, there we go. Nice! Right, let's see the next game. Alright, second match of Goblins. Got to kind of just dismantle our Mono Green opponent there, just kind of sniping off all their mana elves and mana sources. It was pretty fun, pretty fun. That's what we're trying to do. Like an aggro deck with like tons and tons of interaction. This looks very solid. Want a third land, but then we've got like Lash plus Chainwhirler, and then with respect to Horde Master Snot is kind of ideal. Gigantha here can mean a few different things. See what we actually play against. Ah. Hogak. Oh, we do have Chainwhirler. We have to kind of pray a little to play against the right half. If they go Loxodon, we're in trouble. See what they end up in play within play after this turn. No blocks. The it's likely going to do that. We already know we're going to have Chainwhirler next turn. They can play the I think that's fine. The like make two creatures card. Flash one. The soldier, like a human when it gets to the battlefield. They might just be looking to sacrifice this click. Never really know. See, we'll see. Right, there it is. Resolute Reinforcements. They don't want to trade like into the prospects, which means they might be going untap. Presumably they don't have a way to kill this and make tokens. So maybe now we see. Okay, Spirit's fine. The thing with the Loxodon, we have this Flasher Thorns. Kind of do everything. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna sack this for red. I think I just sacrifice the price with itself for red. Okay. Red. Red. Chainwhirler. And then we get deathtouch. And the opponent concedes. Well, there you go. That's one way to do things. So here, it's pretty tough. I think I'm probably gonna want some of these removal spells, these, and maybe the braids as well. Matchups that's pretty good just on the face of it. Another one where Goblin Bannerlord's a bit slow just because they're super fast. Bannerlord gets a little better against some of the slower decks and more stuff. It's like we're trying to shoot off the big creatures. I don't even actually know if I want the braids. might just be the 2 go for the throw. I think I'm going to keep up with this. Again, because it's a deck that relies, again, on very small creatures. We have a bunch of ways to interact with them. Right. This looks very solid. Halfland. Let's get a charger in play. Let's see. Invasion, let's look at our hand. I'm not sure what you choose here. I guess you just choose the Battlecry Goblin because that's the expensive card. But like, then you have to still get through all this nonsense. Okay, no, they go for a Fireblade Charger. Sure thing. Okay. I'm pretty happy just playing this on red. Let's go and play the 2 1-drops. Oh, we can activate Fireblade Charger when we need to. Then, yeah, I don't know if I take the charger though. I guess if you're really, really afraid of it, it does enable some annoying. Oh, that's very annoying. What do you choose here? You've got to be a Prospector. I don't want to trade either of my creatures right now. They just happen. Ooh, multiple Forge Devils. Forge Devil's a nice piece of tag, really. Oh, they've not seen Call of Death Dweller yet. Do it now. We have to play the Battlecry Goblin, am I? I didn't mean to. Just like go. I don't think I'm playing the Battlecry Goblins on that. I guess I did it with. And for now. Just chill like this. And then yeah, 5 rounds to the Death Touch counter, and if they go like Locks it on now, we can just. Then our next step we can maybe use this Fireblade Charger for mana, depending on what we draw. Okay, they're still gonna run it out here. Let's see what they reveal then. Okay. We should wait and see what we draw, because if we draw a Horde Master, then we wanna. Okay, we don't, which is fine. Play this. We're fine to go ahead and shoot this down. And then Battlecry Goblin. Activate the Goblin, because that gives us how we need to make tokens. Go into. So they have some tools to go wide here. We'll see what else they have in hand. Obviously, still have like the Flameblade Charger, like floating. There's like a point where we maybe looked at like we could run out of resources. I think we have to allow this. Yeah. They do take damage. The thing though is that because the Goblin gives everything hay. See, because we can also animate our Den of the Bugbear. They're gonna go to combat. Oh, please go to combat. Okay, Ornithopter is big. Oh, fine. I'm not sure if there's any way they. Activate. Go to combat. I think there's any way to survive this. We've got another pump available on the Battlecry Goblin. They can't block the Flame Blade charges, otherwise they die. Unless they block them with the Ornithopter. Alright, nice. He's been short, so I'll play another match. Okay, so far so good. Had some pretty sweet games. Just kind of like picked apart mono green and then kind of did the same versus the Boros thing. But a pretty nice matchup. No lands is not so good. Alright, we take a mulligan. It's a reasonable 6, but slow because we don't have any 1-drops. We have 16. Don't want to go 5. I want to play. That doesn't make that much difference. Let's go to 6. I maybe keep the Bandit Lord and I'll put one of the Battlecry Goblins on the bottom because they're a bit redundant. The second one doesn't really do too much. Tons. Obviously the first one dies, but we've got other creatures. Okay, Rakdos Sacrifice. That is a 1-drop. I think we just make a Battlecry Goblin. This might be a tricky one to grind through. I'm kind of hoping we draw a Chainwhirler to help clean some things up. Things like a Hem Devil can be a disaster because a bunch of your creatures, a bunch of stuff wants to sacrifice. I don't know if they'll take the call here or maybe take the Goblin Lord. It might actually just be the Horde Master. Probably should be the Horde. Think about it a bit more. But then, like, the Call of the Death Well is going to bring back the Horde Master. Something else later. Bit of an awkward one. Eyeing up the Battlecry Goblin. They gotta claim the firstborn, something like that maybe. Maybe later on. Okay. Snoop's good, but I don't necessarily want to expose it to stuff. Same, like, the Firebrand has some utility going on. I still want to be mana efficient. We can't play a sort of library as a land. I don't want to give our opponent that information. We're going to hope it's a land, but not reveal that it's a land. Oh. Their opponent can be like, oh, they're going to be stuck on 2 lands for another turn. Afford to extend over or whatever. Ooh, claim here is annoying. It was okay the first one though. I was right about that. But sure. Don't be a goblin. You have another Horde Master, but that's not a land. Play the Horde Master, it's getting Blood Harvested, but that's actually, I think, totally fine. Maybe I should declare attack and then make like Snoop. Because it does get us closer if it's... If they block this. If they block this, then I'll make a Snoop. If they don't. Then I'm gonna make it. Alright. Oh, jeez. This is kind of messed up. Alright, now we're hitting a land. Land. See? Not so bad. Ignore my previous statement. You have a Horde Master in hand, we don't have a way to, unless you can get these two in play at the same time, kind of get some leeway versus the Mayhem Devil. It shuts off so much of our stuff. Familiar. I think that's probably too many triggers to... yeah, I'm gonna skip this. We make whatever we play is dying, and then we're gonna rinse and repeat for the game with Familiar. So sacrifice. I want these braids. I want this Colligan's command. I'm not bothered about most of this other stuff. I can maybe bring in these thoughts. I don't know for sure if I want them. I could consider bringing in the Necromancer. You know, you can like name Mayhem Devil, but I don't know if it's worth it. This is a match I could get super grindy. Are we gonna offer sacrificing stuff? Keep it to it. I think we have core, but maybe cut the Lash of Thorns, so the creature city, apart from the apart from the Mayhem Devil, and then some stuff we have that's going to struggle to make it through. These are whether we want to play like a fair game with Thoughtseize or not. 5. I think the thing to do is actually cut the Thoughtseize and try and have some real spells for that, right? We'll just get ahead of it. I think playing to the board is better for us. Maybe doing like we got Frenzy, Colligan's Command, the raids I think are important. Maybe we tick down on like Battlecry Goblin. Okay. Keep all the 1-drops, leaving 1. Then like Sleepwalk Master. Okay, we'll see how these frenzies play. On the back foot for the first time. This set of games. We're back. Do you get to be on the play? We'll play first. We'll keep this. Lead with Scamp. As a fair card, when you're not doing hammer things, Scamp's a very annoying one to play with on Arena, to be honest. Won't have to play with it for very long, I guess. I'm kind of happy to trade off there. It means if they just like draw into an oven, they don't just start immediately trading off. They need to get something into play. Obviously, it's fine. We also have the call already about. Back. Okay, this enables us to kind of set a board up a little bit. Kind of down for this. Let's bring back the Flame Blade Charger with... Well, bring back these two. I'm going to give Death Touch to the Flame Blade Charger. Good actually do. Now we turn the Flame Blade Charger into an actual kill. Where's the Witch's Oven? Do we have another creature to follow up with? No, not at the moment. So we have Frenzy. The thing with Frenzy is that it means that you can't play cards from hand, so we want to get these out ahead of it. I might... I want to get a Scout Prospect. In the first time I played with Hammer, I like picked yes because it's like the other one as opposed to the like oh yeah, that's the yes go button. But actually, that's the one that obviously sacrificed. Which unless you're doing lethal damage, you also do not want to do. We'll make both Prospectors and then see about making this Frenzy next time. Yeah, we kind of just have to sacrifice. This means they actually have though. Get a second main. That's it. Ooh, interesting. Play the whole master. This changes things a little bit. Let's make red with this. Yeah, I think I just do this now. We can play this next turn still, not from hand. This gives us more spells, so I think I am go. What do I want it? So I put this into play, then this goes exiled. I think that's good. Yeah. They both. Nice. I'm gonna end. I maybe look to sacrifice something here so I don't draw the Whoremaster. Unless that's stuff on my upkeep. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Why? I don't really want to sacrifice the scamp, really. Maybe we should sacrifice the scamp because we've got a bunch of threats that do this. My turn. Uh. The damage to shield red. What happens? I don't love this either. Oh jeez. Okay, for mana floating. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Ready for some proper A-grade nonsense here. This is the power of Experimental Frenzy with like all stuff. See what we exile then. Chainwhirler. We'll save that for next. Do we save that for next turn? This can attack, this can not. I'll lose the call here. Nothing. Frenzy. Ugh. It's an interesting one because you're constantly getting more information. You're like, oh, actually, maybe I want to change my life. Mine isn't. And the triple Horde Master projects are about. You have Chainwhirler kind of with floating, you have to clear the way with. Then who knows what's up. So again, kind of hope they don't draw a Mayhem Devil. Yeah, very tricksy, very tricksy. Then draw the Frenzy. What's on top? You do with the Chainwhirler? They don't have food currently. They now have to sacrifice one. Gives us the tap switch. We can block with a Goblin. Cast on top of library. So charges a lot of damage. Oh, yeah, effectively. They run these back 5. Nice. I'm confident I can find people. We need 1 more damage. I think optimal. Hive, keep the whole masters alive. I get to see the top 6 cards, and I'm looking for more Horde Master or other like ping effects. A charger. Yep. So to 5. Go Horde Master. This goes. This. 4 damage. Got some more cards. Okay, cool. Leave that enough. Sure. Game number 3. I think I like this way we've sideboarded. I don't really think we need the Battlecry Goblins. I'm still kind of thinking, like, do you want Thoughtseize? And we have some decent removal for. Maybe that's a reason to have Mayhem Devil. Have a Lash of Thorns in. I don't think. We've got like 4 extra removal spells. Then we've got like all plus stuff. Alright. Yeah. We'll stick with it. We can have a Mayhem Devil with a bunch of stuff sacrificed. We are pretty in trouble. But we have the wide removal. This looks solid. Scamp, Horde Master, Call, a Braid. Give answers for Oven and the other stuff. Lifts, Oven. I think that I will Oven alone for the time being. Play out. Yep. What's going on their side? You Oven. This makes killing the like a Mayhem Devil with a Braid a little less worthwhile. The cool thing about Horde Master is that if it dies, you just get to still get a card off of it. fine. At some point I will misclick this, and I apologize in advance. It's one of those things that are like, oh, I'm playing an arena. So cast this. There's still not anything else to play on red side. Got a braid up. We can do this for next turn. Combat. Fine. What do I want to set up? Because we could call here. Let's bring back a pile of stuff. Kind of down with that. Well, not a pile of stuff, but some stuff. Maybe we get blown up. Try it though. Deathtouch counter on the scamp. Menace counter on the format. We're in a position. That is hard to play around. Is maybe if that is these are like at the same time. I'm gonna do this because it'll do its full power. Okay. Then I'll just make sure that we get the trigger here. Well, new call is brutal. I think we just play these out for now, though. Alright, close on top is not fantastic. We once again have a position. Alright, they have a Mayhem Devil, but currently, no way to really enable it. Ooh, attack blocker. Oh, well, that's interesting. Deal 3 damage to a creature. See what they're paying here. If I wasn't to play this game, I might have blown up the Witches of it on turn 2. Maybe. Sacrifice. Giving... Well, pretty content to play the game here. Frenzy Onslaught. And next time we can, like, repile stuff with Battle Ray Goblin. We don't want to play this. New Mayhem Devil. Don't have mana to sacrifice the feed right now. Obviously, push the Battle Goblin. Right. It's gonna give them triggers, but I think I don't have a prospector, which I need. I think we also need something to actually do these the whole master in the yard. Feels pretty bad, but we have Snoop in play still. We have Frenzy on top. They get to snipe one of the things here, but not a ton with it. Deathtouch counter onto the scamp, and a counter onto the prospector. Let's sacrifice this. should have backed myself a red. Played the frenzy this time. Yeah. Yeah. See you. Alright. Drawing the cliffs. Play Frenzy with 2 mana left. I guess with Sneak Play, we kind of may as well just have. They know we have. That. Team. Seven. Hold the good reason not. Unfortunately, I can't even really say they got flooded because they got like, I guess 5 lands attacking me. But top card is a ring. They're on 7. Gonna make them use the food. This is giving them a Mayhem Devil, but with only some resources. They're going to be, well, a bunch of the creatures that could play will. It says whenever an opponent creature is, you gain a line. They sacrifice if you go to 10. I've messed the maths up, I'm going to be a little sad. They can't currently play Mayhem Devil and sacrifice. They can sacrifice it to a Witch's Oven, and obviously they can use the blood. They're going to do that now to pop some of these things that damage. That's smart. That gets them up life. That leaves them without any more sacrifices. They can Witches Oven, only snipes these. Well, that's pretty big. That means they kind of need to do it. They can see the Horde Master. And say, scoop reveals to both players. That is the match. Hope you enjoyed the video. It has been a super sweet one. Goblins is great. It's a really fun deck to play. Very tricky, very actually pretty mechanical. And so yeah. Hope you enjoyed. Tell your friends, Explore is great, and please do like and subscribe if you got this far. Thanks for watching. Peace out.